Mm. Hello, everyone. I I do come with a heavy heart. I just heard about O.J. Simpson. Uh, you know, even though he's only 10 years young, I mean older than me, I still grew up looking at him on TV. Not really growing up, but he was a big part of our entertainment and sports and stuff. And everybody knew O.J. And he was a fine man. He played in Roots. Did he play in Roots? Uh-oh. I may be going too far. Okay. I might be done went too far. Um, but I want to talk a little bit about some different topics. I wanted to come with live. I hope I can get some comments. Let me know because I'm talking about a commentary that I seen. Uh, you know, ask questions. Well, I can only, we have to ask questions about everything because the ones that are asking all the questions, they're getting paid big bucks. Oh shoot. They're getting paid to ask questions. And then the questions that they ask are not really from us. It's questions to ask to make their publication popular. But I got this. Somebody sent me this commentary on this piece where it talks about the next gen Marxism infiltration into the American life. Now, they asked the question. Now, this is by Brian Gottenstein and Mike Gonzalez and Catherine Goker. Goka. Now, it says, what has happened to America? Excellent question. Uh, that question can cover a lot of topics by a lot of different people because people still seem to forget that America is made up of all kind of people, backgrounds, nationalities, colors. But it says, how did it become a land where keeping your job could depend on affirming the lie that our society is systematically racist? Yes. How did we get there? We've been hearing a lot about. They want to keep bringing that up, okay? Because they're trying to get it to our head until into black and brown people's head. You know, they want to try to find out your next move, if any. And it talks about first on the Daily Signal, what has happened to America? How did it become a land where teachers tell students they may have been born in the wrong body? And where keeping your job could depend on affirming the lie that our society is systematically racist. They call it a lie. And what kids are being told that they may have been born into the wrong body? These are just two examples of many in which a new Marxist ideology is gripping our nation's institutions. See, they are attacking the schools because, see, they want to get into our young minds. Okay? They really try to be the matrix here, because if they can get tuned in into our kids' mind when they're young, they could make them come anything. They could lead them right back to the fields, become the best servants, and all the other wicked stuff they could think of. These are just, but this isn't the Soviet Marxism of the 1960s. This is the NextGen Marxism. Did you see how they are coming up with all this new stuff? They, new words, old ideas. And it's inspiring every part of American life. Mike Gonzalez, a senior fellow of the Heritage Foundation, David's Institute for National Security and Foreign Policy, and Catherine Gorka, a terrorism expert and former presidential appointee at the Department of Homeland Security, are the authors of the new book, NextGen Marxism, what it is and how to combat it. See, they are always creating these problems and always want to try to solve the problems that they caused. I don't know how that works. I mean, of course, it is possible, but not when you are the major contributor, manufacturer of every problem that is facing all mankind. How can you be the one to solve it? Now, this book is deeply researched, yet immensely readable book. The authors show the roots of Marxism. Why I can't say that word? Oh my God. And how the philosophy and the movement have evolved over time. The imminent threat that the NextGen Marxism poses to America today, and how we can save our institutions from the growing number of cultural Marxists all around us. It is a new frontier of a 170-year-old war that has wreaked havoc in all corners of the world. They say 170 years. So they're not talking about us, because we have been terrorized for over 400 years. It is the culture Marxism of early 20th century. The idea that to obtain civilizational transformation, you must first undermine the existing culture and the manipulation of a raft of causes to ignite grievances. The use of grassroots organizing to create foot soldiers for focused campaigns, like demonstrations or even riots, and crucially, the creation of revolutionary networks to strategize and coordinate. The use of race, sex, sexualization, climate, social justice, gender, animal rights, the denigration of beauty, and the consequence of elevation of ugliness, chaos, and disorder. The decimation of the family, the abandonment of God. These and many other diverse struggles are fronts in a larger war. So, of course, they're trying to sell this book, and this is the stuff that they're going to be talking about in this book. And I'm going to tell you something about books. Who reads them? We buy them, but we don't read them. You have some out here that reads, avid readers, but unless you act on what you read, it's not even worth it. So they are saying that people are using these issues. Who are using these issues to change the culture of this country and to take over the government and to usher in a world that diversity is accepted. Diversity can be a good thing. Now, an important part to understand, go to any gathering where Marxists strategize an online platform that promotes such planning, and you will find the causes that outwardly range are from race, gender, and sexual orientation, environmentalists, animalists, ableists. So what they really hate is for people to advocate for the less fortunate. If you're born less fortunate, be happy. Live with it. Die with it. Don't try to make us feel bad because you are not like us. Okay? That's pretty much what they're saying. And, because they hate to feel uncomfortable. They don't want to feel bad about their things that happened in the past. But they also don't want us to feel bad about the stuff that happened to us in the past or try to change it. So I don't want to answer this because they sneaky, these scammers and all of these whatever. If it's somebody who really wants to talk to me, they will leave a message. Now they talk about Cornel West, the Harvard professor who wrote the foreword for the main text of the critical race theory in 1995. Also picked up in 1991 an article for the New York Times on how the progressive movement would operate on several fronts. And West called it the inconsequent, scattered yet gathering progressive movement that is emerging across America's landscape. The gathering now lacks both the vital morale, vocabulary, and the focused leadership that could constitute and sustain it. Now, see, we messed up. When we start trying to fit in where we don't fit in. Now, this place, after all we done been through, all the pain and suffering and civil war and blood running through the streets to try to make this a safe, wonderful place to live. And it's not. It really isn't. That when you could be going to the store and somebody just walk in there and kill you and your family just because you're black. This really, this democracy, this Republican experiment should have been bringing about. I mean, y'all came over here, stole the land from the Indians, killed most of them with your darn nasty asses, bringing your diseases and your weapons. And what do? Made this country into a clown circus show, surrounded by evil, mean people. This clown show is really just ran by the most evil people on the planet. And all these other people, like all these gangsters and dictators and all this stuff, they learned it from America. And this cruel, ugly world. That's why you have all this stuff that's going on. Because they learned it from, the best. Who you think started all this transgender and all these LGBTQ people? The same people that came over there and stole us, brought us over here, raping our husbands and children. And look what this America has came to. A cesspool. I mean, yes, we have to live here. Do you really think we want to? No, because we don't have no choice. Okay? A lot of us can barely afford the rent. How in the hell are we going to afford to leave here and live somewhere else without being turned into a sex slave or a homeless person? You got to do what you got to do. But don't sit up there and try to make us feel a certain kind of way because of it. So what I am planning on doing is I'm going to plan on, as soon as I can, get out here and start talking to people, because we have to raise a next generation, not a woke generation, but a smart generation, where no matter where you go or where you live, you are going to thrive and be happy. Because that's all we can hold on to is happiness. Everything else is temporary. You can be happy. You can be happy in the midst of a darn anywhere. You can't nobody take your happiness away from you. They can take your life. They can take your furniture, your job. But they can't take your happiness. And we're letting them take our happiness. Working our ass off to build something that they can snatch away at any time. And I'm going to say this much. These people, because this is what they said about uh people. They is hung up on gender, anything that I mean, they couldn't be transforming if they didn't come up with this stuff to transform them. Medicine and all this and surgery. Who's doing all that? We sure didn't come up with that. You know, they always starting a problem and then want to try to solve it. They start the problem and then want to try to stop the problem after they blow it out, after they made a lot of money. You know how much money they probably making off these pills and surgery that's transcending our kids into whatever they want to be. And then these people are mad because the schools have to deal with this. Not you, but these teachers and these principals, the school board, all of them have to deal with this. The parents, they have to send their kids to school and they have to learn about these kids that want to transcend and want to be something else. And it's a good thing that they are learning about this young, because if not, they are going to cause more harm to not just themselves, but other people. And you know what's and this country is gonna be worse, because if you look at it, look at the United States map, you see 50 states, and it's people in those states, and some of them that you may never know. So what gives you the right to think that you could just make one genographic happy and the rest can go to hell? Okay. Um, and they're talking about how they are teaching these kids all this stuff. Well, kids have to be taught about everything in this world, because yeah, you may live in a very affluent neighborhood and all this stuff, but sooner or later they're going to have to interact with the rest of the world. And that's what's wrong with some people now. They really don't know how to interact with other people. They have been taught that some people is not as good as you. They have been taught that some people is animals, vermin, need to be exterminated. Yeah, that's what they're teaching their kids. Now, if you don't want your kids to learn about the world and is in and diversity and inclusion and all that, and you just want to make everybody's world sad, it's not going to end well. Because remember this, it's more of us than it is you. And our main focus should be to live happy and to leave happy. And in the meantime, making it a better world, a better future for the ones that come behind us. Thank you for listening. Hope you all have a good day and stay happy.